Hey, I'm Claire.
And I'm Janice.
And this is The X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
We are breakup coaches here to help you beat your breakup,
Heal your broken heart,
and move on to an amazing, abundant life. Hello, everybody. I am so excited to drop today's episode. How do you feel about it, Claire?
It was so much fun. Saskia is just the coolest person. And then,
I know.
What we were talking about is always so much fun to talk about dating apps and specifically the pictures. And she really knows her stuff. So I'm so excited to share this.
Yeah, you can't really get much more fun than that as far as, dating podcast and what the two of us like to discuss. And she was just really in her element. I felt, really, really excited and honored that she took the time to come on the show. And to fill everyone in as to what we're talking about, today we are featuring Saskia Nelson, the founder of Hey Saturday, which is a multi-award winning dating photo agency.
How cool is that?
And yeah, not only are there dating photo agencies, she's won awards for it. She is very good at what she does.
Yes.
Her team of fantastic UK and US photographers specialize in helping people intentionally create a set of dating app profile pictures that visually tell a story of who they are, helping them make more meaningful connections online. It's so cool. She is a well-respected dating profile expert in the UK and the US and has been featured in many magazines and newspapers around the globe, sharing her dating photo know-how.
Yes. And she's here to share it with you.
Yep.
Hey Saturday is just like the coolest company. They have locations in London, New York City, and Los Angeles. If you can make it to one of those cities, perhaps getting your dating app photos taken by Saskia or one
Her
of
team.
her
Yes.
team is going to be like the way to make really positive, authentic connections on the dating apps. And if you're like, wait, WTF, you want me to have a professional take my photos? Just listen to the episode.
Yes, we do.
Because we do. So, and after the episode, go check them out at heysaturday.co. They have a really cool blog that actually has so many really beneficial tips that we think you guys are going to love. And we might actually be on there soon.
Yes, we will. And I think check out the website to get ideas for photos, to maybe get inspired to go have your own shoot and to see the difference that it makes. I mean, seriously, looking at the website and all the examples of the dating app pictures will definitely help you to understand why it's so important. There is a different vibe to these photos. It makes you curious about the people. It's just like fun and bouncy and motivating. It makes you excited to be out there when you look at her profile on the site. So if you're a little skeptical, just go and look and listen, and you'll see what we mean. In this episode, talk about a deep dive. I don't think we left a single question unasked. We asked her everything.
Yeah, we were like rapid fire. She was like, this is a lot of questions, but I think we could do it.
She did say to me before we had the interview that we had a lot of questions that we wanted to go into. And why is that? That's because we have a lot of listeners that this really matters to.
Yeah. And we want you guys to be able to like find your people out in the world, date people that you actually have a lot in common with, and your pictures count for a lot. So with that, please enjoy the episode. We know you're going to love it. And come stop by the Facebook group. If you're not in it already, let us know how you liked it. If you have any questions, and check out Hey Saturday.
Yes, please. And thank you, Saskia. Enjoy, everyone. Hi, Saskia. Welcome to X-Files.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. And we've already talked about this for a few minutes, but how is London today? You guys hanging in there?
Yeah, a little bit hot today. I think we're hitting 30 degrees, so the roads are melting, trains are
Right.
to a halt. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We're not set up for this.
No,
No.
that's definitely what my experience was. Yeah, I do like how the public transport stops.
Yeah.
Because it gets hot.
National holiday. The
Yeah.
heat is here. Everyone's
Just can't get to
sunbathing.
work. We have to go to the park. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are so excited to hear about your business and to, I know we're not supposed to use this expression, but pick your brain about dating profile pics.
Yes.
Before we get into it, though, I think everyone would be really curious to know how you started Hey Saturday, how you came to do such a niche or provide service to such a niche, why you're passionate about dating app pics, and just how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, well, I think it grew out of the fact that I did about 8 years of online dating, which is quite a long time ago now, because I've been with my partner for quite a while. But there was, it was about 8 years on and off using the apps, online dating, and so kind of on a journey of seeing lots and lots of photos and reading lots of profiles and going on lots of dates.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things, especially back then, was I was obviously looking at guys' photos and the quality of them was just shocking. I mean, it's still bad now, I imagine.
Yeah.
It was really bad. It was like webcam photos, and just guys sitting like with a blank face, just staring at the webcam.
Yeah.
Kind of that. And I just recently been working at Sky TV in their comms department, and what I realized from working at Sky was that they use the power of visual storytelling to sell and to advertise and to market and to raise the profile of their brand. So, and that had been drummed into me for the whole time I was there, the power of the image. So, if you looked at the typical Sky advert in those days, it would be this really strong, bold, amazing, interesting image, and then maybe 3 words like believe better or something. And it's so powerful at drawing the eye and also being able to share a lot of information just at a quick glance, because whatever you put in the photo, it's an opportunity to tell something interesting about whatever's in the image. So I saw it as, I just kind of thought, imagine if you're online dating and someone used strong images that were bold, bright, colorful, and just told you something interesting and meaningful about who they were, and that if they had a whole set of these images, it could actually tell a story of who they were. It might shed light on what it'd be like to date them, or to be in a relationship with them, or to hang out with them on a weekend. And so I just saw a gap in the market where you could create a business that was really focused on helping bring out those elements so that people could use their photos with more intention, with more kind of power to get their message across.
Okay,
And,
so you're inundated with Sky and you're inundated with dating apps. And so the two things that you were doing a lot of, okay, all right.
Yeah, so that's where my original idea kind of came from. It was, it was working in a very visual world and realizing that the world outside of my work was getting more and more visual as well. And even more so now, we obviously live in the Instagram age where everybody's like getting into the act. And so you can see how getting your profile right, but more importantly, your photos is so key. I think the thing is, people don't read bios unless they like the look of your photos. So
statistics say.
Yeah, so it's really all about getting those photos right from the get-go. And I guess the more that you can, if you can create a snapshot. So I think one of the things is that you can share a lot of information in a photo at a glance. Because remember, well, if you're on an app, you know how long you get to swipe. It's literally, you've got a fraction of a second to impress someone or grab their attention. So if you can get information over that's interesting, intriguing, compelling, that makes them feel something, that makes them visually interested, then you're going to get their attention, and they're going to stop to have a look at all the photos and read your bio.
Yeah.
If your photos aren't grabbing them at the get-go, they're not going to stop and look at your bio. They've gone on to the next.
True.
Yeah.
True.
And the way you're talking about it too, it's, you know, it's about being more authentic to who you really are than perhaps even just like a grainy webcam photo or something, you know, or like a selfie. Like having a story and trying to accurately portray yourself with like high quality images is like actually being more authentic and giving people a better idea of who you are than, you know, like non-professional photos you take yourself, perhaps even.
Yeah, I think it's authenticity is like one of our key kind of pillars, I think, because there are a lot of people who are, you know, catfishing and kitten fishing even. So kitten fishing is when you, so catfishing is when you use someone else's photo entirely.
Yeah.
Kitten fishing is when you use your own, but you make quite a few
from your freshman year.
Oh, from like years
or
ago.
it's really, really old, or it's when you
filtered,
you know,
or
are looking a lot better basically, and that is kitten fishing. And I think you know, having great photos attracts attention, but it's authentic ones that keep it. So you won't get a second date if you're kitten fishing. Basically, you're using images that aren't representative of who you are right now.
I honestly can't. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think people know that when they look at someone else's photo or have that experience themselves, but a lot of people still think, well, if I use this photo that's not quite accurate, once they meet me, they're going to love me. And it just doesn't work like that, because when they meet you, they think, wait a minute, I've been deceived. And when you've been deceived before you've even sat down to have a drink or something, you're not in the right space to
you feel annoyed.
You're not ready to start a trusting relationship. Like, trust needs to be established from the get-go, and you know, starting with a dodgy photo that's kitten fished them in, you know, isn't the way to go. So yeah, authenticity is very key. So I had to pick up on that. Definitely.
So how do you kind of so the fact that it's a posed photo shoot, but you're going for authenticity, you know, how do you kind of, you know, combine the two aspects of this?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, because you might think, hang on, it's like a fake situation. So I guess we get around that by, well, for a start, we call our photo shoots adventures. So it's not a formal portrait shoot. You're going on an adventure with someone, a fun dating adventure, where and we choose all our photographers who are, I mean, the main thing that we choose them on is how they connect with people. So it's really about building a strong connection, and just for them to feel relaxed and, you know, like they're actually having a good time. So we try and get them to relax and have a good time, because then they'll get genuine, fun, light-hearted photos that are authentic. And we try and encourage them to do things that they love, because when you do stuff that you love, you're in flow. When you're in flow, you're having, you know, you're having a good time. You're not thinking, wait a minute, I'm on a photo shoot, oh my god, like what's happening? You're like doing something you love, which might be skateboarding, boxing, yoga, journaling, painting, I don't know, whatever it is you love. If you can do that while you're on a shoot, it sounds like hard work, but it can just be fun. Just bring the things along that you're into, and just dig in, you know, get stuck in. Start sketching, start drawing on your iPad, and then you just get, you know, it's not going to go on for hours, but just doing it for a little bit, you start focusing on something else, and you're doing something that makes you feel good. So
that makes sense.
So yeah, we're trying to create authentic photos in an inauthentic way, but we do it with kind of creating genuine fun connections between the photographer and the client, and getting them to kind of have fun with it, and just go with the flow and experiment. So we're very much about getting them into an experimental mindset, because that's so important, because it helps you lose your inhibitions and just think, well, do you know what, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. And you know, we don't know what will work often until you try things. So you know, it might be dancing, sitting, walking, turning, you know, whatever, just having fun with it, jumping even, you know.
Yeah, in some ways, it sounds like it's more authentic than either doing a selfie because you think you look really good and the lighting is great, or you have a friend with you and you're going to do something. It actually sounds like it brings out more of the real you.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because especially like having a professional there, you know, like I think people are going to have an established relationship with a friend. Say if you're like, hey friend, can you like take some photos of me, but your friend might not know how to like get you to look how you look when you're moving and stuff. Your friend's just like they're supporting you, trying to take photos of you, that might come off like, I don't know. I think having a professional involved is just like so huge for letting people relax and capturing you in your best light as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think people can take very good photos on a good quality smartphone.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's certainly something that can be done at home. And, you know, I'm all for supporting. In fact, I have on my website a free download for people who want to try it at home.
Okay.
So,
that's great.
And so we give tips and like what you could do to prepare. But I think the key thing is having good quality images. Because like if they're out of focus, blurry, not well lit, your face looks a bit rubbish, then you know, and you kind of
technical term.
Yeah. So the technical side that your friend's got a lot of things to be thinking about, the technical stuff as well as all the kind of capturing you. But if your friends can do that, then brilliant. But also, you know, maybe mixing it up with some professional shots as well. Like it's always good to have a selection that involves some of your own shots anyway. Selfies, yeah. Can I just say something about that?
Yeah, please do.
So, selfies. So apparently this is research, not me, because it's kind of a bit sexist and ageist, but they say that women in their 20s are the only ones who should be using selfies. Everyone else shouldn't be.
Okay, go on.
How sexist is that? So
it's crazy.
I think they think men apparently aren't drawn to women in their 30s doing it. It doesn't sit right, apparently. But women in their 20s, it's fine. And men like that because of the intimate connection. You know, it's just it feels more intimate. They're looking into the camera, they're holding the phone, so they like that sense of intimacy. Women, however, don't like men with selfies. And
wow, and this is based on
it, I would agree with that. I wouldn't particularly like it.
Yeah, especially the mirror ones. I hate those.
Oh, yeah. Taking the gym.
Yeah, it's like who can pull off a yeah.
But a lot of men do that. I know. Yeah. And these things are based on stats drawn from the apps and which profiles get hits. Fascinating. Yeah. You know what? Thank you. I've never heard about the selfie thing with women past 30. Oh my God.
I know.
I'll have to take that in. It is, I'm just surprised. Also, I do selfies all the time. So, all right. Noted.
Noted.
How interesting.
Awesome.
Obviously, for your social media, that's cool.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I think you've given us a pretty good idea of like what to expect on a Hey Saturday shoot. Is like, you know, it's an adventure. You're doing things that you are interested in. Like how, you know, and the photographer is working with you to establish that rapport and get you to relax and start having fun and, you know, get out of your head. Is there anything else you'd like to say about like what these shoots are like what the secret sauce is?
Sauces. Well, I think like if you can do the work up front, so it becomes an easy it becomes a more fun thing. So, and by that, I mean, I guess I have like, there's like 3 things that you can be thinking about. So we start with like knowing yourself. So we want the client to just take a, you know, before their shoot, we give them a pre-shoot questionnaire, and we ask them to just take 10 minutes out of their day before, you know, their crazy day, and really think about who they are, what they love about themselves, what makes them stand out from other people, what their passions are, what do they want their photos to say about them, how do they want to make people feel. And we get them to write that stuff down, because when you write stuff down, it really helps. And also their photographer will then be able to see their replies. So it's giving the photographer lots of information to work with to help them prepare. And it also gives them something to connect with them over and get curious about. Oh, I saw your passion is X, Y, and Z, you know. So it really helps. So starting with knowing yourself and thinking, yeah, who am I? How do I spend my weekends? What do I want to say in my photos? What's important to me? What matters to me? And then kind of moving on to express yourself is the kind of second thing. So how are you going to express yourself? Like what in a kind of visual way? So clothes, colors you might wear, the props you might bring, the things you might do, the backgrounds you might have. So having a think about that. And then the final stage is kind of celebrate yourself. And that's kind of thinking about the emotional side of things. How do you want to make people feel? What energy are you going to bring to your shoot? How, you know, how are you going to show up? How are you going to engage with them and make them think, yeah, this person makes me feel happy and positive and engaged, and I want to connect with them, and I'm really intrigued about, you know, something. So if you can prep it with that in mind, like knowing yourself, expressing yourself, and celebrating yourself, it really helps to kind of just prepare for your shoot and turn up feeling good and confident, and like you've got the right outfits. You know, you need the hot first date outfit, you need the what do I do on Sundays, maybe brunch and gallery outfit, you need the sporty outfit. So sporty photos attract 75% more attention, according to one of the dating apps, Hinge, I think. So 75% attention is a massive hit rate. So
that is.
Who's so for our the prep that we give our clients, we're all over sporty shots. If you're into yoga, boxing, cycling, running, any of those kinds of things, how can you showcase that passion in your photos? And we get them, and we try and get them to do it if we can. Skateboarding, you know, rollerblading, whatever it is, do it, because again, they'll be in flow, and they'll be all happy and like looking natural and genuine, and you've got interesting shots.
And I think that a lot of what you're saying too is that you already need to be in an okay mindset about being on an app in the first place, I think, get excited about this, because that's something we talk about a lot. You know, people say they want to do it, but they don't really, or they want to do it, but they're showing up with a bad attitude. And to do something like a photo shoot, I think you've really got to be revved up about it.
And it also it shows you care. Yeah,
I mean, people who kind of come to us going, oh my god, I hate online dating, and you know, I hate everything about it, can you help? I'm like, yes,
it's not gonna work, there's no good people out here.
We're not the first port of call, really. We think maybe go to a dating coach first, or do a little bit of that, because if you do your photos first, by the time you get to the end of the getting to know yourself process and loving yourself, you're going to be like, oh, those photos don't reflect who I am. You know, so if you're in a bad place, absolutely get in a good place. Don't date until you're feeling good about yourself, because you'll only end up in toxic situations.
And you'll end up, I think one of the things I was thinking about as you were talking, especially about the questionnaire and like how you want to represent yourself, is I think if you're in a bad headspace about dating, and about like self-worth and things like that, and finding the right partner, and maybe like a lack mindset of like, what if there's no one out there for me? You know, the chance that you're going to be choosing things that you think other people want you to look like and represent yourself as, and like, you know, active shots do really well, but what if you are like I hate being active, like you have to, I mean, bring it back to authenticity at the end of the day, and like knowing yourself, because I think with dating, and we talked about this with Jade last week from dating with divorce, dating after divorce, is like dating with divorce after divorce, is that, you know, not everyone's gonna like you, and you have to be truly yourself and alienate some people in order to like tell your people, hey, I'm over here, you're gonna like this. Like,
that is such an important point, actually. That is so crucial. And actually, when I was dating, that was one of my golden rules, was in my head all the time. I'm not for everyone.
Yes.
And basically that was, you know, that meant that I wasn't on this kind of up and down journey emotionally, like, oh, you don't want to see me and all this. So I'd be like, well, I'm not for everyone, and everyone's not for me. I know I need someone really special. So, you know, it could be 100 dates before I get one that I really connect with, and that's okay, because, you know, I'm not for everyone. So, and it's just, it's a very good mindset to be in, where you're just kind of like, it's okay not to be liked. I don't need to use my photos to make people who, you know, like me, unless I'm being me. You know? So don't, if you're not remotely sporty, don't do sporty photos. I've had the question before, and it's, as you say, always bring it back to authenticity. What would you do? Don't ask me for my advice. I need to know what you do, you know, and keep it real.
Well, this actually brings up one of my next questions, which is, what if you think, or you do have interests or hobbies that would not automatically translate into a photo shoot? So for instance, we have had, you know, for a lot of people into coding as a hobby recently, reading. I'm really, really into history. You know, what would you do, or what would you tell someone who says, I don't have interests or hobbies that would make good photos?
Yeah, I mean, that comes up a lot. So,
okay, all right, perfect.
What I would say is, you know, we're not magicians, so we can only work with what we can work with. But for example, with those ideas, I was just thinking, like coding, for example, coding. What I'd be interested in seeing if I was looking at photos of someone coding is maybe someone, you know, over their laptop or their iPad with the coding up, because it looks it looks different, doesn't it, as far as I know.
I'm not a coder. I just know it's come up a couple times recently.
There's lots of characters. So
I think that could actually be quite an interesting shot. You get someone maybe in a cafe working on their laptop, and you get to see, or working on their iPad, and you can see the coding. So that's going to be interesting to some people. They're going to be like, oh, what's that happening there? You know, I might email you going, wow, what are you looking at? You know, they might be impressed by it. Or they might know about coding and be like, oh, wow, I love what you're working on. So it's not a huge thing, but it can potentially be a talking point. So it's just thinking like that. With the reading, you know, grab your favorite book. Like, who doesn't want to see what books you're reading, especially other book lovers? So that's quite an easy one. History, did you say? Historical obsession. So
I mean, yes, you don't need to, I mean, you don't have to come up with a brilliant idea.
What I would say about that is, what does that look like for you? I mean, is it reading historical books? Is it having a specific thing that you know, look at?
Civil War reenactment, or like,
exactly. Do you wear anything related? Like, you know, is the king kind of as creatively as possible? What we try and do when people are at the know yourself stage is get them to kind of mind map or write down you know, things about them that might then visually translate into something interesting. And until you kind of write it all down, you start to, well, as a creative, I can start to picture things, and I'm sure other people can. Oh, that could be me wearing this, you know, holding that, or, you know, just kind of coming up with some ideas. But yeah, it's not, you know, there's going to be things like cooking's a difficult one outdoors. It might be bringing a cooking book or something.
Okay, so they are all outside. You don't go
our shoots are outside generally. We do go into cafes and bars when it's not too COVID-y.
Yes.
All right. Super.
So maybe the cooking shots are something a friend could do, or you could just mention in your bio or something.
Exactly. I would recommend getting a friend to do a cooking shot. Just making sure the lighting's really good. Maybe have them facing a window because you get good natural light.
Yep.
And it could be stirring something in a bowl, and you've got a nice shot there. And that could add to, because the most important thing about that shot is it's showing you cooking. So it doesn't need to necessarily do all the work of making you look great and, you know, adding lots of color and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But obviously it needs to be good quality. It needs to do your face really well.
Yeah. So seeing your face, super, super important. I know people like connect with being able to see someone's eyes, seeing someone has like an approachable expression. Is there anything else, like especially for that first picture that has to capture people's attention? I guess like that would be your profile picture for
I mean, the main one needs to be a genuine smile or laugh, so it needs to engage this whole part of the face. If it doesn't, you're gonna actually put people off.
Got it.
It comes across as a fake smile, which is
and by this part of the face, she means from the nose upward.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So all your mask smizes that you've been doing has been preparing you. All you need to do is add your lips to it as well.
If you couldn't remember how to do that.
I've been doing a lot of mask smizes. You want to be you're like happy.
You're just like
that. So yeah, and actually when you're talking about that kind of thing, body language is super important. So there's some body language no-nos that need to be avoided, which would be closed body language. So think of photos with arms crossed, for example. If you think about someone in a photo with their arms crossed, it can come across as defensive, insecure, unconfident, like you're kind of folded in on yourself. What you want to do is uncross your arms, straighten up, push your chest out. Particularly the guys that actually, but women as well. And really start taking up space, being the star of your own photos. So, you know, own that space, because body language can, good, powerful body language makes you look confident, basically. The minute you go into that close, which is obviously when you want to shoot, the first thing you want to do is like cross your arms and hide. But you know, once you go, hang on a minute, I need to take some deep breaths, open up a bit. You'll feel the confidence as you do it. Your body grows in confidence as you change positions. And you can even do some power poses to get into the mindset. Or dancing, like just really start owning it. Maybe you don't do that on the actual photo shoot, but
if it's your personality, I don't know. If you're Phil Dumpy, who's now dating again. All right, so do we want to do some specifics?
Start. So this is a quirky one. Pose with your mom. Is this a good idea?
Yeah, I heard that this is good, but for me, that just seems completely counterintuitive.
Okay, so what I would ask myself, and what I get clients to ask themselves is, does your mom want to be on your dating profile? Like, you're basically pimping out your mom, right?
I don't know, but
I don't, you know, I think by bringing in your mum, personally, I think that's not the time to introduce someone to your mum. I think when she's started seeing someone, you might show them a photo of you with your mum, but just, you know, doing it in a, you know, kind of on an app in an open forum, I don't know, it feels a bit too personal to me.
It's a curious thing to lead with.
Yeah, and also, I mean, do mums feel happy about that? I don't know, but I think just ask yourself how comfortable your mum would feel and how comfortable you feel about, say, going up to a complete stranger and showing them a photo of you and your mum. Is that something you do? Or would you rather wait to the first date and go, oh, here's me and my mum? You know, which to me would be more natural, I think. But, so I'm not a huge fan, but you know, it's not a definite no-no.
Yeah, and I think also the effect that might have been being referenced with that could be achieved by like having a dog in your photos, like seeming approachable, perhaps
warm,
like not to compare anyone's mom to a dog, like it's not the same thing, but like, you know, like if you're including something in your pics because you think it's going to just like have a better effect with people. I know dogs are a big one, although I mean, how do you feel about when I was dating a couple years ago, so many guys had photos of dogs in their account and they're like, oh, it's not my dog, like when I would ask about it, you know. So
that's
what do
dog
you
fishing.
say about dog fishing?
Oh my god, you've created a new whole thing. It is dog fishing, actually. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, some of our clients do that, but you've got a point. Like if you ask someone if it's your dog and it's not, how does that make them feel? It's not great, is it?
Yeah,
it's a bit dog fishing. Maybe I might be onto something there, Janice.
And then I know one of the popular things, and probably something that would be advisable, would be having pictures of you traveling. Okay, but what if you're not actually a traveler? I mean, what are there any guidelines around using travel pics necessarily?
Yeah, so they need to be good quality. They need to go back to the basics. They need to be good quality. They need to show you looking good, and they need to be kind of bold and compelling. So if it's just like you in the distance with a mountain that could be anything, is that really adding anything? There will be some shots that, like if it's something visually really quite strong and interesting, and some travel shots can work really well if you choose something, it's a really interesting, compelling shot and you look good in it, because you need to be in it. Remember, you're the star of your own photo shoot. So, and if they want to see a picture of Thailand or wherever, they can just Google it, right? So it's going to be all about you. And I would say maximum one photo, a travel shot, if you want to include it, because most people like travel, generally, and that's something that's quite easy to write about in your bio. But if it's a photo you love that's adding value to the rest of the set about 10 people who you are, and you look good in it, and it's well lit, and it's a good quality photo, then that works.
All right. Everyone keep that in mind. I think a lot of people feel like they need to show off where they've been, and they're not remembering that it's more about showing their face and what they look like. Okay. All right. And then along those lines, how recent should the photos be? Or is it more important that you just feel like you look the same as you do now? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm blonde now, but I haven't always been. So if I had a picture from 2 years ago when I was brunette, should I leave that out? Just even though it was only 2 years ago? Or what if it was just last year? Well,
I mean, I would say you could leave that in, because presumably you might do it again if you liked it, and if you didn't like it, you probably wouldn't have included the photo. So I'm guessing that would be fine, because you're the sort of person who changes your hair color. That's being authentic and keeping it real.
I know. I mean, for instance, on my Google account, I use a picture that is really old, but I feel like I look the same. I don't know if I'm kidding myself or what, but I have the same hair color. So is it really about when it was taken, or if to you it's representative of what you still look like?
I think it only becomes really problematic like after kind of 45, 50. You need to start tightening up that timeline, let's say. So in your 20s and 30s, you can get away with having photos that are quite a few years out of date. I think most people don't change that much, so that kind of works. But once and 40s, you're starting to like
the changes are more dramatic.
Things are changing. And you hit 50, especially as a woman with menopause and things like that, a lot starts changing quite quickly. So I would say definitely start looking at a year to 18 months.
Okay, so
and above for guys as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything upwards of 50 starts to update more regularly. I mean, you can tell that, you know, if you look good and feel like you look the same, then that's fine. But, you know, for some of us, you know, your hair gets grey. It's a reality of life.
Yeah, look, just
And
I think it's being
embrace
honest.
who you are. It's about, you know, it's nothing to be ashamed of. And if you're not happy with yourself, then do what you need to do to be happy with yourself. So
Great.
Yeah, good point. So what about sexy pictures? Like, how do you feel?
Ooh, sexy.
So
I would say I would ask I would get my clients to ask themselves, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
Am I doing it just to grab more attention? Because I'm desperate to get more attention. And I think this is the way that I need to be to get more attention. Or am I doing it because that's kind of the person I am, and I'm actually like quite a flirty person and I wear sexy clothes all the time. And so it makes sense that my photos would be sexy. So if that is who you are and you feel comfortable being sexy or proud, you know, you're thinking of sex bloggers and things like that, sex positive bloggers and that sort of thing.
Yeah, or maybe if you are a model. I have a friend who's a model who always is posting photos of her shoots and stuff. So that would be makes sense for her.
Exactly. But if you're someone who actually that's not really you might go out of an evening with a sexy dress on, but generally speaking, you don't kind of go around. Like, think about, would you go into a bar, for example, and go up to a stranger and show them a photo of you that's sexy?
Okay.
But, you know, because that's basically what you're doing. You're showing a bunch of strangers on an app sexy photos of yourself. Yeah. So you have to think about it. Like, what is that something I do in real life? And if it's not, then I wouldn't go down that road, because it could be coming from a place of, I think I need to do this.
Yeah.
This feels comfortable to me.
And so for the purposes of a Hey Saturday shoot, you know, how do you guys deal with this?
So I think usually people ask beforehand, and by people I'm thinking of men who might ask beforehand and say, I want some topless, you know, I want to have topless shots or just some shorts and things like that. And we don't, as a rule, do topless shots.
Interesting.
Look at the cover of our photographers, because we are literally dealing with complete strangers.
Right.
So as a rule of thumb, we don't do that. And also, we're using very good lenses, and we did used to do it, but we found that a lot of guys, when they get the final photos, are like, "Oh, I didn't realize." They're
like, actually, maybe
backfired.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's not something we do. We kind of try and avoid it, and that would be something you get your mate to take of you, maybe.
Got it.
But there's, you know, I think again that applies to guys. Like, is this who you are generally?
And
like,
also,
you go around with that at the top, or are you doing it because you think you need to show off your guns, because otherwise no one's gonna.
Yeah, like if you're doing beach volleyball every weekend, like it would be weird if you kept your shirt on.
Yeah, like context, isn't it? So you're a shot of you in context. This is who I am. Yeah, it could be you holding a volleyball. Yeah. In fact, we do. Yeah, I'm thinking my LA shoots. We have guys surfing, holding their surfboard, and they'll just be in their shorts, and that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like weird.
Yeah, so we down the street topless. Then we're like,
maybe that's kind of strange.
Yeah, or with their shirt unbuttoned.
It's gonna set people off. But yeah, the minute you put it in context, so we do topless shots. But it would be like our beach shots and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're not sexy. They're just they're sporty. Yeah. And like also I think, you know, you can keep those photos like that you take of yourself, or that maybe, you know, you just have your little stockpile for, you know, third date or something, you know, like reward the people that you're like really actually interested in, you know.
You want to see some more photos of me?
Well, I don't know, like if you're texting like regularly and stuff, and you're like, hey, I'm excited to see you tonight, you know, send a little sexy photo. I don't know if it's like for the dating app, like for like attracting people to you, it's like maybe just a perk of dating you. Like if that's who you are, if that's what you want to do, you know.
To earn it to see that.
Yeah,
That's what I would
exactly.
say. I don't give it away for free.
Yeah.
All right. So what about booze, pictures with alcohol? I know when I was living in Australia, you know, it seemed like lots of people had photos with their beers. Are there rules of thumb as far as tastefully using it? Should you use them at all?
So I would say, again, it's coming back to who are you really? Is this being authentic? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you want to look like you've got lots of mates and you go out drinking all the time? If that is what you do, then yeah. I mean, generally, I would say 1 or 2 booze shots if you're kind of like quite into it.
Okay, so I would have 1 or 2.
Yeah, but
right.
like you're trying to create a picture of your whole weekend, or the whole part of you, not just the part of you. So you know, maybe don't use all of them like that.
Yeah.
Would you guys find that a turn on if like a guy had photos drinking in every shot or girl?
It would depend. Yeah, it would go back to context for me as well. I'm really into mixology, so if someone was actually showing themselves making something fancy, I might be impressed.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, meh. I mean, I drink, but I'm not like really into like mixology or anything like that. So if someone had like more than just the incidental, like, oh, someone snapped a good photo of me and I happen to be holding a drink, you know, I'd be like, maybe that's not my person.
No beer bongs, you know.
Oh my god, no.
If it's a party animal and their life is drinking every night, then it would make sense.
Okay. All right.
Real, I guess.
Be authentic, everyone. That's what it comes down to. All right.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for like how someone can take a good like candid pic? Because you said earlier, you know, it's good to have some photos that are not just this like professional shoot to kind of like give you know, like insight into, you know, just someone's like candid life, I guess.
Well, what I would say candid basically means when you're unaware of the camera, right?
Okay.
So we take candid shots as well when we, so the best way to take candid shots is to do something you love and to get involved with whatever you're passionate about, because then you get lost in the moment. So it could be your mate taking it, or it could be a professional taking it. But the thing is for you to think about something else other than the fact you've got a camera lens in your face. So that's usually easier with friends. That's true. So it could well be that your friends take it. But yeah, you know, if you're into that coding person, maybe you're coding and you say to your friend, look, while I'm coding, can you just, you know, come over at some point and take some photos of me, but make sure I'm looking good.
Yeah. I guess you can't really do these on your own.
No, exactly. So candidness is really, a good candid is you kind of lost in something, but make it something good, because then you'll be looking happy and passionate, and you know, don't get lost in thought worrying about something or that presentation you've got to do. That's not a good vibe. Just look really stressed. Do something you love, or do some activity like dance to your favorite song or whatever, have fun, and then get someone to snap the photos while you're doing that thing.
Okay, well, thank you so much for answering all of these. So we got one more and then we're going to get to the really juicy stuff before we let you go. I came across something recently about black and white photos, which I would have definitely thought were a no-no, because that to me just says filter. But I came across perhaps the same Hinge profile picture report that you're talking about, and they said black and whites were 106 times more likely to be liked than color photos. So you guys offer black and whites. Have you heard of this? What do you think?
So here's what I think.
All right.
We don't offer it as standard at all, because generally speaking, most dating app photos are neutral colors. So when you're looking, everything's browns, grays, blacks, whites, maybe dark blues, navies, so it's not grabbing your attention. And that's why we're so passionate about color, because straight away you're drawn to something colorful in a shot. So generally speaking, we don't subscribe to the black and white thing. However, as a photographer, I am totally aware of the power of a very good black and white photo. They can be incredible and very, you know, you can't tear your eyes away.
Yeah,
so
agreed.
In this situation, I think we've all seen those black and white photos where you're just like, wow. So in this situation, I would say if you have a black and white photo of yourself that's done really well, where, you know, you literally go, oh, wow, I look good in that. Yeah, use it. Yes. I will support that. But if it's just a photo that's been taken, you know, and then turned black and white with a filter and just, you know, it's just a standard looking photo, I would say no. But I mean, I'm surprised I am surprised at that survey. However, I guess if no one else is using them, the thing that's going to make people attention turn to them is that there aren't many out there, so people are going to go, oh, hey, what's, you know, it's going to get attention,
right? Yeah, maybe it's more about that.
Yeah, which is a good thing. So yeah, I'd say if you have a good black and white photo of yourself, use it. But that's usually, you know, it might be something that, you know, wedding shot or something like that. So I think, you know, when you're at a wedding or, you know, you get professional photos done. So, you know, something like that is good to fit into a whole kind of series of profile images. But there is something about black and white that's like you're trying a little bit too hard. It kind of makes me think of studio shots. And
that's what I would have thought as well.
Yeah, which generally don't go well on dating apps because people don't want to think that you're trying too hard. They want to think you're just being natural and going about your day and someone happened to snap you. So I'm not totally on board with that, but you know, for the novelty value and also the fact that some photos are just astonishingly good in black and white, yeah, do it then.
Yeah, use your judgment.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that you see like men making and women making? Is it like the same sort of mistakes, or just what do you think are like some easy places people could improve? Maybe.
I think for men, do you remember I talked about closed body language earlier?
Yeah.
I think a lot of men immediately kind of fold their arms because they want to show off their guns.
Yeah.
I get that. But
can't you put them on your waist?
Are there other ways you can put guns? I don't know. Leaning against the wall, maybe. But the thing is, especially if you're a heterosexual guy, women can feel like you can come across as aggressive sometimes with arms folded. Yeah, it can be quite aggressive, or like I mentioned before, defensive, which isn't attractive quality. You don't want a man who looks defensive, really, or it just kind of says that I'm not very confident, except in my gut. So yeah, that's one of the biggest mistakes we see. Like, the minute people get in front of the camera, they're like, what am I going to do with my hands? I want to cross them. And we're like, no, let's go with open arms, standing up straight, maybe holding something, you know, like your bike or a basketball, or
that'll show off your guns if you're holding
totally. Do that work on the car, you know, like
all right.
So yeah, there are other ways of showing your guns that are more positive and, you know, engaging.
You're holding up books.
Yeah, being like, I'm an intellectual.
You know, like you could be in your running gear, right? And then you're like stretching or something. Stretching moves, so it looks natural. You're not like there just standing across arms, because that's not saying anything about who you are as a person. It's just that you're a bit defensive or you're a bit uncomfortable. But you know, when you're running gear, you want to shove your guns, so you start doing some stretching, or maybe you're holding your water bottle out and drinking it. So there's ways around it, but that, you know, I would say try and find other ways other than just crossing your arms and focusing on body language, closed body language. Get open. So that I would say is the biggest one. I think men have a difficult time because they don't have girlfriends to take their photos. or guy friends to take their photos.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
So they're quite often struggling for good photos. So the majority of our clients are probably guys because of that. They don't want our friends to help them out.
Well, we got Hey Saturday, everyone. So look them up.
Yeah. And also, you know, like I think things will change over time, and and you never know. So if you're a guy, you know, you might if you get brave and ask your guy friends, like, hey, can you take some shots of me for my dating profile? He might be like, dude, I've been needing shots for my dating profile too. And then you've got a great situation.
Really?
Yeah, so you never know until but if not, there's Hey Saturday. Or as well. Yeah, awesome. Do you want to get the last question, Shannon?
I just wanted to see if you had anything as far as mistakes that women make that jump out at you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I guess for women it's the group shots that there's
okay.
There's
really? I thought more men did that. Huh. Group shots.
Well, women do it as well. They do a lot. And I just think group shots is, well, if you're meant to be the start of your own, like this profile is about you and about you, you've got like 5 to 6 opportunities to really sell yourself, to really tell people who you are, and you don't need to start telling them who your friends are yet. Let's focus on you first. Again, is that a second date where you show the photos of you with your friends in Thailand or whatever? Do you need to do that on a first date? So I would say maximum, if you want, 1 photo of a group shot, but make the rest like powerful shots, telling people who you are, what you're into, what your story is, like take control of that narrative. Because once you've seen 1 group shot, you don't need to see more. Really.
Yeah, we get it. You have friends.
And then you end up like cross-referencing the group shots, trying to figure out like who actually is the person I'm looking at.
You're giving them like opportunities to either go, oh, do you know what, I don't like the look of her friends, or do you know what, I can't be bothered to look through these photos, find out which one she is, or they might go, oh my god, her mate's hot, maybe I should keep looking, you know. So you just put an obstacle in the way of finding your one true love.
Oh yes, that's such good insight into this. I love it. All right, so finally we want to hear your top 3 profile pic don'ts.
Okay, so my first one is, so ditch misleading pictures. So you remember we talked about kitten fishing. It's I've got to come back to this because people do it so often, and it's like they judge people for something that they then do themselves. We're all good with it, I know, but it's really kind of looking through your photos and going, are these representative of who I am right now and in the this period of time, these few years or whatever, or am I actually secretly trying to kitten fish someone here? Because it's not going to lead to a second date. It's I think Match.com came up with this stat that the biggest thing that stops you get second dates is misleading photos. So don't fall into that trap. Yeah, well, of course, people are like, oh my god, I've been deceived. I mean, I've been on that receiving end so many times. I know what it's like, where guys had to text me because I didn't know, like, he sat in front of me and I can't tell it's him. I'm there going,
I just think that you'd be so embarrassed to do that. I guess I'm just so surprised that it's so widespread, because it is just such a standard joke that everyone says that they didn't look like their pictures, but yet people continue to do it.
Especially height. Sorry.
I think people think once they get to know me, they'll love me, but they're not going to want to get to know you. That might well be true, but get to know them on a, with honesty at the get-go. Don't try and deceive them, and then say you're going to really like me though, even though I kind of lied to you at the beginning. You know what I mean? That's not the way to do it. So, but I don't know why people still do it. I think it's because you judge it in other people, but you kind of let it fly for yourself,
Well, it sounds like confidence.
Or maybe that was like the last time they had like a really good photo of themselves, and they think that's how I look in a good photo, and not necessarily like tie it to the fact that like even if I got a good photo right now, I would look different, you know? Yeah, like I've showed up to a date where the guy was like a head shorter than me, you know, and was
Oh, I had
supposed
that
to
all
be
the time.
taller, you know,
Yeah,
like, and it
I'm
was like,
really
you didn't
tall.
even just like do it by like a couple inches. It was like half
So
a
it said
foot.
on the app how tall they were?
Yeah. Well, it's the very cliche like 6 foot thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's almost like if someone says they're 6 foot, it's you
And
kind of want to do it.
you know what he's thinking in his head? He's thinking, well, when she gets to meet me, she's gonna really like me. And you're
he was
thinking,
great.
what? He's lied to me. If he just shown
Yeah.
up and been himself, maybe I would have liked him. But you know, I get why people do it. They just want to get the date and then so that they can show who they are, because maybe they're not getting matches. But at the end of the day, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, and I've heard a complaint too where because you can like put in your preferences and have like a height requirement. And so I think guys are worried that like they won't even show up in people's searches because they just assume everyone is putting 6 feet in that.
I know. I do hate apps that make you choose things like that. Life is more than people's height and weight.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell that the heat is getting to you, so let's try and get to the end. Any other top don'ts?
Yeah, so I would say ditch your worst photo. So why? So basically, when people are scanning all your photos, you caught their attention and they're giving enough attention to look through all of them. But what they do is they look for the best one, and then they look for the worst one. Yeah, because and that's just human nature. You're looking, you're scrolling through their photos, and you're like, yeah, but hey, wait a minute, where's the worst one of them? I want to see what they look like at their worst. And it's that photo that usually determines whether they're going to choose to match with you or not.
Okay.
So when I say ditch your worst photo, what I mean is, yeah, if you've got one that you just thrown in there, but actually you're like, I'm not really sure about that. I don't look my best, but you know what? With the rest of them, I think it works. Well, if it's not that great and you're really not sure about it, I'd lose it, because that's the photo that people ultimately make decisions on as to whether to swipe right or left. So that would be my second one.
Okay.
My third thing would be, so you know the profiles where everyone's got the same look or expression or focal length, so they're the same distance from the camera in every shot. So it's like just seeing the same photo over and over, but maybe the background's changed or the outfit's changed. I would say don't do that either. Let's mix it up. So remember, you're telling a story. You're trying to engage them, get them interested, you know, intrigue them, delight them if you can, make them feel something.
Yes.
So just using the same photo of yourself, but just in different outfits and backgrounds isn't great. You know, so just experiment. Maybe, you know, get down low and have the photographer shooting down, or get the photographer down and shooting up, and, you know, dance, move around. Just keep things, you know, mix things up and change it. Yeah, change outfits, change location. Change expression on your face, change the activities you're doing. Just make sure you have kind of a nice selection, basically, rather than just the one shot that's just the same.
Because you look good or it's a good angle.
Repeat.
Yeah.
So it'd be better. 3 things.
Yeah. Okay. So it'd be better to go for like fewer photos, but better photos.
Yeah. But I mean, ideally have 5 to 6. If you have less than that, people start getting suspicious.
A little suspect.
Okay. Yeah.
What's wrong? What's up with this person? Well, they only got 2 and then and that's a genuine concern.
Yeah, and they're like reverse Google image searching you and like trying to figure out.
That's definitely what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah. And then I would max it out at 6. So cap it at 6, because once you start adding more, you're basically giving them more reasons to go, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they start to, people have this thing where they're looking for faults, aren't they? Like, they're looking for good stuff, but they're also looking for things that are wrong with you or the situation or the backdrops or whatever. So I would, you know, keep it to 6 max, so that you, you know, you're not giving them too many reasons to swipe left. you know.
Gotta maintain an air of mystery.
Yeah,
but not too much mystery.
Yeah, you want to intrigue them. You don't want to give them everything, you know.
Yeah.
Or like what's
save it.
Yeah. Save the good stuff.
Saskia, I just think that you're absolutely brilliant. I think that this is going to help so many people. So thank you so much. Thank you for being excited to come on X-Files. What is next for Hey Saturday? Where do you want people to find you? What cities are you in so that people there can get a shoot, so that people can fly there to get a shoot? Tell us everything before we let you go.
Well, you can find Hey Saturday at heysaturday.co. And on there you'll find like all a colourful portfolio of the work that we do and the personality we're trying to capture. In the UK, we're in most major cities. In the US, we are in New York and Los Angeles, so you'd have to head to the coast. And we are in Austin, but not right now because we're on a COVID break at the moment there. And
those are 3 great hubs. So everyone pay attention. Okay, super.
So if you're anywhere near those locations, and I would be more than happy to offer 10% discount if you come via me and let me know that you've heard on the show. I will give you 10% discount. Because I love the show and it's been a lot of fun. So thank you.
Yes. Oh my God. I think, I hope when are we calling our listeners X-Files now? Like this is kind of like I think when our listeners are ready, their hearts are ready, they're feeling enthusiastic and excited about dating again, like this could be a really great first step. I heard you, I think it was on your recent post on Instagram. It was another podcast that interviewed you talking about how it's best to start with really good photos so that the algorithm, promoting you, rather than, starting with okay photos, the algorithm is like, okay,
Yeah, I mean, dating apps obviously love good photos because you make them look good, right? So the better quality photos you have, the more likely they're going to show you around.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Right, everyone take advantage. We'll drop the information for the discount in the show notes. We'll put it on our IGs. I know that our community is definitely looking to get out there more. We get questions about dating apps all the time, comments about them. So thank you. I can't wait to share this. I'm so excited to have made this connection. I hope that you figure out a way to stay cool in London.
Yes.
Let's keep it up.
Thanks so much for having me. I really enjoyed it. It's been really good fun. And if anyone wants to ask me a question or anything, they can just connect with me at heysaturday.co on Instagram, or just my address is on the website. So just drop me a line.
Right. It's a good opportunity, everyone. All right. We'll talk to you soon, Saskia. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to X-Files, a podcast about breakups, broken hearts, and moving on.
If you like this episode, tag us on your Instagram story so we can connect with you.
And you can find me, Claire, on Instagram at Claire Lofthouse.
And me, Janice, on Instagram at Janice Formicella.
If you'd like to join our online community, find us on Facebook at Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On.